What's going on? We back with the Vasyl Clinic and more. Your boy CJ Goodfella giving our final thoughts on Jorge Linares taking on Vasyl Lomachenko. They both weighed in at 134.6. Both made the weight under the 135-pound limit. So that's positive, A lot of guys on this card was a contractual weight, was above every weight limit you can think of. Everybody came in above, the weight limit in this fight because wasn't no world championships on the line. So I was watching the weigh-in from ES News, Ellie Segback News, and then they had it on ESPN Plus app, which, by the way, you can get the ESPN Plus app for 7 days right now, free trial. I'd rather just wait and see if they have it for the Jeff Horn and Terrence Crawford fight, which that trial might end by then. So it's just under a month away, but both guys look physically good. Linares looked like the more natural 135-pounder, even though they're the same weight. The weight is distributed different, and everybody's body type is different. Linares looked a little bit more ripped. Lomachenko looked a little bit more, I won't say soft, but less defined than Linares, and that's to be expected. Especially moving up in weight for the first time. Linares had a noticeable height advantage. Linares is going to have a weight advantage come fight night tomorrow. I don't know if they're going to reveal the fighters' weights tomorrow. But that's what it's going to be. Lomachenko is not going to have a size advantage that he's used to always having versus opponents, and that's going to be the intriguing thing about this fight. One of the few intriguing things, in my opinion. That's one of the intriguing things that's going to be inside the ring. I think another intriguing thing is that, Top Rank and Golden Boy is came together to make this fight happen, to cross the political gun lines to make it happen. I did a prediction video on this, break down a prediction. I'll link that to the description. But this card starts off at 8 o'clock. I think it's only 2 fights. Then at 10 o'clock, you can head over to HBO and check out the Turning Stone cards between Jimai Mangoyin and Saddam Ali, which I believe will be the fight of the night. But to give you a piece of my thoughts that I put on the breakdown prediction video. But hold on, before we get into that, must let you know that it's only one real world title on the line here, and that's the WBA championship title belt that Linares holds. He holds the WBC Diamond belt, I think, and that just represents the mandatory status to Mikey Garcia, because he came back down to defend his belt. In the ring belt, some people it's prestigious. I don't really get into that. You don't need to be undisputed. I really don't care about the ring belt. But also, leading up to this fight, in the weigh-in, the coverage they had, Jorge Linares, these Mikey Garcia as more dangerous opponents more dangerous than Vasyl Lomachenko. So for him, he may be underestimating Lomachenko a little bit as far as, just some of the things he done said in his demeanor. But I think he's fully prepared to get his ass whooped tomorrow night. And it'll be as usual. Y'all know how I feel about Linares if you've been rocking with me for a minute. I'm huge on really gauging veteran fighters on who they beat. And Linares hasn't beat anybody that has, that's been a superior fighter and that's better than the pack. Especially at lightweight. He hasn't beat anybody. That's the difference. That then went on and did some great things in their career. He didn't get a chance to beat Adrian Broner at 35 because he got knocked out by Antonio DeMarco. Then got knocked out the next fight by Sergio Thompson. Went over to Japan to rebuild his career. So, he's back. And maybe those life lessons and them 3 knockouts that he had on his career has become a positive and became a life lesson. If it has, and he's learned something from them knockout fights, from getting knocked out. He's learned something from experience in the ring over the last, several years, which he hasn't lost 2012. He learned something from that, and he takes that in that experience, and he manifests that in his fight. He got an opportunity. But to give you that taste of the breakdown prediction I did, to end the final thoughts. One thing I noticed is Jorge Linares just throws everything at the same speed. He doesn't change up speed. And once you throw something the same speed versus a master defensive fighter, or you might catch him early, like Shane caught Floyd or something like that. You might catch him early, but if you catch him early and you hurt, Lomachenko, Linares is going to have to finish it. Because if you don't finish it there, and if he gets that opportunity, once Lomachenko gauges his speed and he gets that rhythm down, he don't change the speed of the jab or none of the punches he throw, when he start missing, he going to start to fatigue, and Lomachenko going to start making him pay. Lomachenko ain't just the guy that make you miss. It's a lot of guys that'll make you miss, but he's the guy that'll capitalize on it and make you miss, and he going to touch you. And once you start missing and you get touched, that's when you start getting hit with the shots that you don't see. That's when you definitely get hurt. But if I'm Linares, I definitely want to focus on the body. I want to work the jab upstairs, downstairs, change the pace of the jab a little bit, throw a power jab, throw a flickering jab, jab to the body a lot and set up some things upstairs. But I exclusively, in the first probably 3 or 4 or 5 rounds, I want to attack his body. I want to keep him at the end of his punches. I want to drop my jab to his stomach, to his belly button, and put the right hand, left hand behind it. And if I get on the inside, I want to hold, because he's not going to be able to compete with Lomachenko on the inside. Lomachenko was a dog on the inside. And I think that's his greatest asset is his body punching and bringing it upstairs, and then start working from there. But for Linares, for Lomachenko, it's just to, make him miss, turn defense into offense, and then turn, some offense, make him miss and turn into defense. Just be Lomachenko. I think that's very important for him. And I believe Lomachenko will stop him late. Not saying Linares is going to quit, but I think Lomachenko going to slice his face up. He going to start bleeding as usual. And I think Lomachenko going to dominate this fight. It's not going to be no debate. But Linares does look confident, and I think he's going to have a better performance than what I'm predicting. But I'm going to stick to my guns with Lomachenko winning by knockout late. We gone.